Okay, hey guys, it's Adria Theron here with another Otome game review. So I have been working on playing Cupid Parasite, which I received a review copy from Keymailer from. Thank you very kindly. I missed out on this hidden gem because I took a break from Otome games because I was hardcore playing Final Fantasy XIV. I don't have regrets. I got lots done in Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm very behind on Otome games. I have a stack of games over there. I will get to them one day, and they keep bringing out more and more. Have you seen all the Otome games coming out this year? Like, that being said, this year, Cupid Parasite should be getting out fan disc. So I'm going to buy that game. I don't buy a lot of Otome games right away because eventually they do go on sale. I might actually buy the Cupid Parasite fan disc right away because like, oh hot damn, I'm loving this game. So I'm on my third route. I've done Shelby and Ryuki, and now I'm on to Gil. So I'm going in a recommended order from guides I've seen online and following walkthroughs and stuff to get all the endings. But today we're going to talk about Gil, the Lovelorn Parasite, and his name is Gil Lovecraft. I feel like that name may have cursed this poor sucker. Look at him being so cute. So let's play his little video. So what is Gil? Gil is a puppy. Gil is a giant puppy. He loves you. You know, going into Gil's route, Gil is not my favorite character design-wise. His design-wise is solid. I'm not really a fan of the glasses though. I feel like, but when the glasses are gone, oh, okay. Now he's a little bit more my expertise. But he absolutely loves you. He wants to take care of you. He wants to protect you. Gil is how I expected Toma to be going into Amnesia Memories. I do feel like Toma and Gil are kind of similar, just Gil's not, fucking crazy. So, but yeah, Gil absolutely loves you and adore you. You can do no wrong in Gil's eyes. You can do absolutely no wrong. Okay, let's talk about... Let's go to Gil. So I'll put on his movie back there. So Gil, I like his character design. I like his eyes. Again, to be honest, while Gil is not my favorite character, design-wise, like all of the designs in this game are really solid. So it's kind of like really hard to be like, oh, who do I like the best? But it is what it is. So Gil comes off as very crazy in love. He is a Lovelorn Parasite because he has never forgotten his first love, which guess what, is you. And you didn't know. But the Lovelorn thing is like, oh, she rejected me. And it's kind of like, you're like, I never rejected him. So there's Sumako's route, the route of misunderstandings. So about Gil. Gil was your roommate when you came to the human world. And oh, hot damn, are you lucky that your aunt had you room with Gil? Because if she assigned you up to live with any other man, you would have got murdered or dead or kicked out, or horrible things would happen to you because you don't know jack shit. When you join the human world and Gil takes care of you and he does not take advantage of you. Probably the biggest plus for Gil. He's like, oh, I see a girl who acts like a baby bird. I must protect her, not taking advantage of her. So when you come to the human world, you are roommates with Gil. And eventually Claris moves in too. And Gil is definitely like, the fuck? My roommate was supposed to be a person named Mike. And she's like, oh, that's probably just what my aunt picked out. And he's like, I don't know about you. I would have remedied that situation very quickly and been like, you need to find another roommate and find somewhere else to live, preferably with a female. So Gil, it doesn't seem whether it's clear whether he it doesn't seem like he falls in love with first sight. He's more of just super duper shocked at how dumb you are. So a lot of this route is like a lot of flashbacks back to when you were in college and living with Gil. Claris also, it talks a lot about the misunderstandings you guys had. Like, Claris is like, oh yeah, Gil's totally in love with you. And you're like, no, Gil's in love with Claris. And she's like, no. No, I mean, he's in love with you. Very much so. So I do like his route overall better than Ryuki's and Shelby's of what I've played. It kind of starts to dive into more, like, they're dropping a lot more lore hints. We're just getting a lot more of stuff that's going on. Like, it seems like there's more shit going on in the background than I knew about. So I do like that Gil's route is going more into that. I kind of expect Raoul's route to also get more on kind of the lore and hinty, and then Alan will be a giant, like, boom, giant bomb dropped on you. And then I've heard there's a secret route. I haven't confirmed. I'm not sure, but I assume if there's a secret route, they're going to answer all my questions. So, but yes, Gil's in love with you. You don't know it. It's terrible. So just like all the other routes, you start this route with Gil. All the other Parasite 5 people leave Cupid Corp, including Gil. Technically, they all quit. Fuck off. The other guys you never see again, and this route is pretty much focused on Gil. It's like, I think Raoul pops up for a minute, and Ryuki pops up for a minute, but not a lot. So this is like a CG. So some of the CGs are like a flashback to when you were living with Gil. So there's young Gil and young you. You're both so adorable. And this is when you put all of the laundry detergent in that you possibly could and had bubbles explode everywhere. And Gil took it like a saint and laughed. I was like, oh my God, who am I living with? He's like, I must protect this innocent soul, this pure soul. So Gil's like, she's an angel. And he also thinks you're some rich kid from the countryside or something that just like never learned how to do anything. Cause like you can't cook, you can't clean, you don't know how to take a bath. That's fun. You follow him into the bath and he's like, what are you doing? And you're like, I don't know how to use a bath. And he's like, I will show you how, but, and you're like, oh, I'll get naked. And he's like, no. So that was the best moment in the route for me. That has stayed with me, and that will stay with me forever. So Gil's like, I must protect you. He does not take advantage of you. It's, again, you would have got murdered if you would end up rooming with any other person, I feel like. So I've been like, what? I feel like they would have got frustrated with you and killed you. Because everything, you're just like, how does this work? How does this work? So Gil's last name is Lovecraft, and you're like, oh, craft and love, ha ha ha. That's not what I thought when I heard Lovecraft. I thought immediately of Cthulhu. But I assume Cupid has no knowledge of Cthulhu. Though? Giant sea monster. Maybe. So your route is you guys slowly falling in love. There's a lot of misunderstandings. Like, apparently Gil misheard something and he thought you wanted to spend as much time with your love as possible. So that's why he goes into freelance. In college, he had no like direction in life. And he literally becomes a freelance writer to be with you always so that he can take care of you. He makes all of his life decisions so he can be with you. Now, in hindsight, when I play the other guy's routes, now I know this, and now I feel bad every time that you end up with someone else. Because, oh, hot damn, Gil really doesn't love you. Too much, maybe? And he has sacrificed a lot based on a crush. A lot. It's like, what are you doing, Gil? You were making poor life decisions. So he becomes a freelance writer because of you. Oh my God, Gil. Oh my God, Gil. So there's also apparently when you guys were in college, you went to prom together and you did not figure out that he liked you. You just thought he couldn't get with Clarice this entire time. You thought he'd been in love with Clarice, and he thought you didn't love him. And you guys go to prom, and actually at some point he gives you a love letter, except for he's an idiot, and he puts it in a book. And the book is borrowed by Clarice at some point, and the letter never makes it to you on accident. So he thinks you rejected him because you didn't meet up with him. You didn't do what, he told you to do in the letter. He never once came forward to say his feelings were. And, and that's how he became the Lovelorn Parasite. And he can never forget you, and he can never end up with someone else. So the other thing I like about this route is that with Clarice, like it's kind of implied the last couple routes we've done, like with Ending with Shelby, Clarice is like knows Alan. It's like, that's weird. It's very heavily implied that Alan is an incubus and Clarice is a succubus. It's very much implied that she's been feeding off of Gil and his wet dreams of you. Isn't that great? So eventually he does move out from you and Claris. Fun fact, the apartment you and Claris live in currently is the apartment the three of you lived in. So stuff happens. Eventually Gil needs a place to stay. He ends up moving in with you and Claris again. He secretly loves cars and Transformers. You're like, duh, I figured that out real quick when we lived together. And he's like, I've been reading it. And what you also find out is that Lovecraft Industries, which he is the heir to, technically him and his brother are heirs to, is this big car company. And Gil's obsessed with cars and wants to build a car, and he loves Transformers. And he's also technically rich. He just hasn't been taking any money from his parents. But he loves cars. He ends up switching doing freelance work to this car company. Oh, it's so cute. Eventually you do figure out Gil's in love with you and you fall in love back. Actually, one of the bad endings is like you take advantage of Gil and you become a slob and you quit your job and you just eat and you just stay at home and he takes care of you. That's a bad ending, and Claris is like, the fuck. So, but look at him, so sweet, and he's taller than you. He loves cars. Oh, and then here's from the prom night where he hugged you the same way. So he's so cute. He has been waiting so long for you to figure it out. But he's also a giant chicken. Gil is super duper chicken man. He never just straight out tells you he loves you. He eventually does in this route, but like it takes him a hot minute. And it's like, what are you doing? So Gil starts working for, you know, Car Magazine. He's doing good. He's working hard. He's making money. Oh yeah, here's the CG from the shower. That was great. That was the most hilarious thing. And this is where he finally kisses you. And you're like, oh, he loves me. And you guys immediately go and have sex. Because it has been years. He's been waiting like 6+ years. So eventually, like, you wake up and you see a message. Again, the route of misunderstandings. And you think Gil has been writing terrible articles about you in Cupid Court. No, not really. He was trying to stop the articles. But yeah. But again, route of misunderstanding. So you go back to Celestia, and Gil manages to get to Celestia and get to you. And how does he get there? Well, he takes your Cupid golden arrow that fell off when you guys had sex, and he puts it in a car, and he makes a transformer. He makes a transformer named Bumblepig that is pink and sentient now because of the arrow. And he goes up to Celestia and he begs for you to come back. And yeah, it's super cute. It's also kind of creepy, just specifically this scene. He has all these pictures of you that you didn't know he took. Gil was a little bit of a stalker too. But eventually your dad lets you go back. And then you figure out, you start discussing shit, and it just goes all the misunderstandings, and you're lovey and fluffy. And then you meet his family. His brother is like, I don't want to run the car company no more. I'm just gonna go be with my love. And you're like, cool. Gil eventually proposes. He takes over the company from his parents, and you guys get married. And the just good end, he doesn't take over the company, he just becomes a freelance writer, but he's writing these books based on the love letters he's given you. And then there's a bad end. And this is the ending that also stuck with me because of Gil. And this bad end, you go to Celestia, and instead of like being nice up there, they're like, oh my gosh, you lost the gold arrow? You're gonna be imprisoned for 100 years. And 20 years after your imprisonment, Minerva gives you this DVD, this movie to watch. And it is the story of a man who falls in love with an innocent girl. And eventually, through misunderstandings, they are separated. She disappears. And he spends the next 20 years looking for her every day and writing love letters to her. And it's based off of a book Gil wrote. So even though you're imprisoned up in Celestia for the next 100 years, Gil is still looking for you. Gil will look for you until he dies. So you use the leaden arrow to destroy his love for you. And that's where it ends. And it's tragic. And that's actually been the most tragic bad end so far in this game. Like, all the other ones have just been like, oh, okay, you guys just drifted apart, or you end up not together. This is bad. So if we're going to pretend the bad ending does not exist, that does not exist. Instead, you end up happily married. And I do love marriages. I do love weddings. I'm all about wedding dresses, and I love Cupid's wedding dress in pretty much every route. I'm all about this. So this game makes me happy. It always ends in marriage for the good ends. And it doesn't end in death or sexual assault and bad ends. That's kind of refreshing compared to some other otome games I've played. Some of the other some of the bad endings and like other otome games and visual novels are kind of horrifying. So this is refreshing. They're all like, they're bad ends, but they're not like, oh, we killed you. You just don't end up with the guy. So I have 3 more routes left in this game. I have Rolf, who I'll do next, and then Alan, and then supposedly there's a secret route. I hope. I'm kind of waiting for it to be Zeus or Peter. Either one. Maybe Peter and Zeus are actually the same person. I don't know, but I'm waiting for it. Peter has not popped up in any of the other routes. He just popped up in Shelby's route, so I don't know if he's going to pop up again, but I'm waiting for it. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you for the next one. Hope you have a good morning, day, evening, whatever it is, and bye-bye.